Vivek Ramaswamy, Executive Chairman of Strive Asset Management and author of Nation of Victims. Vivek, it's awesome to have you here on set. I love what you're doing because this is a very private solution to what's become a very public problem of companies that just don't stick to the knitting of doing their work. Talk about what you're doing.
Absolutely. And I believe in market solutions to market problems. And so that market problem that we're working on is the fact that, look, if you have money in a retirement account, in an investment account, chances are it's with a large asset manager who's using your money to tell companies to adopt social and political agendas that you may not agree with. And so if you want to tell companies to adopt an environmental agenda or a social agenda or a cultural agenda with your money, then that's great. But if you don't, there were really some missing options in the marketplace. And so that's why I founded Strive. We launched two funds. One is an energy fund called DRLL, Drill, that tells U.S. energy companies to drill, to frack, to do whatever they need to do to be most successful. And the other one was STRV, the Strive 500, which tells 500 of the largest U.S. public companies to focus on excellence over politics. That's the point.
So you're sending letters to these companies. You're saying this is what our investors want you to focus on. And it's not crazy. It's your business, which helps people. So how are these companies responding to what you're bringing to them?
Yeah, absolutely. So earlier this month, I sent a letter to the board of directors of Chevron. Earlier this week, I sent public letters to the boards of Disney and to Apple. In each case, calling out what I saw as politically influenced behavior by activists who had non-economic agendas. So in Chevron's case, that one was earlier this month. I was pleased with the response I got. I got a courteous response from Mike Wirth, the CEO, the evening that I sent the letter. They set up I was actually in New York for my book tour last week. They invited me to have dinner with their CFO. We had a multi-hour dinner here in New York, engaged in open dialogue and discourse. And I think that's what's missing in the boardroom and the C-suites today is a diverse perspective. You hear a lot of talk about diversity. A diverse perspective that tells companies to knock it off with the politics, leave politics to the politicians, but focus on your products and services for customers. That's what excellence demands. And I think a lot of people are quietly hungry for this message. We're just saying it out loud.
So some of these CEOs, they've got the pressure from different constituencies to pursue these social agendas. But is it your sense, actually, that a lot of these folks, when you get them in private and you're talking about their business, their real desire is actually to do their business? And the problem is that they feel like they have no backing from outside, somebody like yourself saying, hey, stick to your knitting, do great work.
I mean, when you have the world's largest asset manager, led by Larry Fink, at BlackRock, managing nearly $10 trillion, writing an annual letter to America's CEOs, one man writing a letter to all America's CEOs, telling them how to behave. And I wrote in the Wall Street Journal earlier this year, by the way, about how that letter has direct influence on what companies say. Look, I think there is a culture of fear in the boardroom, in capital markets, and I don't think that's good for anyone. It's not good for capitalism. It's not good for our culture. It's not good for the functioning of companies. So one of the things I'm doing is I'm putting pressure on a lot of these politicized demands. Now, what do you hear in response from the BlackRocks of the world is you hear that, no, this is just about long-run value creation. That argument ends up being a farce. And so when you take a look at the Scope 3 emissions reduction plan that was imposed on Chevron, or you take a look at the racial equity audit that was imposed at Apple, at the end of the day, and this is what we do in the shareholder letters, is ask the question of how does this advance the interest of Chevron stockholders or Apple stockholders? That ends up being actually a very difficult question to answer when you can't just hide behind the veneer of long-termism and actually have to engage in the argument in an analytical way. That was the point of sending these letters.
So what kind of pushback are you expecting to get? You're a smart guy. You know you're doing something very countercultural right now. I love it. There's a lot of people out there who don't love it. What kind of blowback are you expecting from people as you go?
Already starting to get it a little bit, and I don't mind that. Some of it's going to take the form of personal attacks. Some of it's going to take the form of cynical criticisms. You know what? If you don't have thick skin, don't enter the public sphere. And the good news for me is I didn't have to worry about putting food on the dinner table in order to take these causes on. But part of what motivated me to do it is that if you're a worker in America today, actually a lot of people do have to choose between putting food on the dinner table and speaking their mind freely. I don't think everyday Americans should be forced to make that choice. And so, you know what? I'm in a fortunate enough position to start a business to be able to bring this different voice to the table. If that involves some public criticism, that's great. I'll take it. More important, though, is getting to the public debate that we need to have. And the best part is, you know what? We're going to close the gap between what people are willing to say in private and what people are willing to say in public. I think courage can be infectious, but you got to walk the talk
Courage can be infectious. And I think that it's such a good point. People are feeling things in their jobs, but they're saying, if I even mention this to anybody, I am going to lose so much. And that's a very scary prospect. I got to leave it there, Vivek. We got to go. So good to have you on set. Thanks for being with us.
Good to see you.